You ever notice how some people don't really even have to say much and people already instantly take them seriously? As soon as they walk into the room, they get the undivided attention of everyone, ears perked, ready to listen, like it's already, decided somehow. And then there are other people who can just be, just as capable as that other person who can take over the room instantly. They're just as consistent as that person, and still they feel like they have to prove themselves over and over again. Not ignored, just not fully, respected like they feel they should be. And that's a weird feeling because it's not a loud feeling. It's a soft and subtle feeling that I don't hear spoken about often. It's the way people respond to you, the way they listen or don't, the way your words land or, don't land the same. I started paying attention to this a little bit more in my day-to-day life, and it's like you can feel it without anyone saying anything. Some people walk into a room and it's quiet confidence. People lean in, they don't get talked over, their jokes land correctly, their opinions carry weight even when their opinions are wrong sometimes. And then there are people who could say the same exact thing word for word and it just doesn't hit the same, even in the same crowd. Nobody really explains why though. You ever been in a situation where you know you're right, but the way you say it doesn't move people in the way that it should? Kind of like in sales when people hang up on you, but you know that if they would have just gave you the time of day, maybe you could have got them to listen. Then someone else says it, maybe even less clear than you did, sounding less intelligent, and suddenly everybody agrees with that person. And you're sitting there like, so we just gonna act like I didn't just say that? Like how you trying to put somebody onto something. And I remember like back in the day when I was growing up, I went to Miami as a child, and when we went there, I'm from Georgia, or I'm from Texas, but I was living in Georgia at the time. When we went there, Khalees's Milkshake was playing on the radio. So I went back to my 4th grade classroom, or was I in 5th grade? It doesn't matter. I was like, my milkshake brings all the boys to the... And everybody thought I was weird. The next thing you know, 4 weeks later, it's on the radio in our town, and everybody else wants to sing, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Anyway, back to the subject at hand. It's not even, always about being heard or being right. It's about being received. Now you start to question things that have nothing to do with your actual abilities. Like, is it how I talk? Is it how I look? Is it my tone? Or is it just the fact that they don't want me saying it? Kind of like how your parents can say something over and over again, but then you hear maybe your friend's parents say it, or actually a friend or an aunt or, someone else who isn't your parent, and you respect it more even though your parent has already said it. Anyway, is it like how people decided to see me, from the beginning? What is it, And I don't even think people realize they're doing it, because we all do it. We meet someone and within seconds, we've already placed them somewhere in our minds. Serious, not serious, either they're a leader or a follower, they're confident, unsure, before they've even had the chance to show us anything real. These things in our mind take like micro milliseconds, right? Before we're even realizing it, we're placing them in some type of box within our own minds. So I think what makes this frustrating is when you know what you're capable of, you know how you show up when it actually matters. You know the version of you that locks in, handles business, gets things done, but for some reason, that version of you isn't always the one that people choose to see first, or actually can see first. I'm not sure if it's really a choice. Like, I'm not about to sit here and pretend I don't notice these things. There are definitely moments where I'm like, so we're going off vibes today. Not effort, not consistency, not track record, just vibes. All right? And the more I've thought about it, the more I realize this isn't really about working harder, because a lot of people are already doing that. working harder, working 10 times harder. You know, it's not even about being more capable. There are people who are extremely capable and are still overlooked every single day. I think it's about something a lot more quieter, deeper than that. Something that happens before effort even gets the chance to speak. It's like people don't always respond to what you do. They respond to who they believe you are. And once that idea is set, everything you do gets filtered through those lenses. If they see you as someone who's unsure, even your confidence looks like hesitation to them. If they see you as someone who's inexperienced, even your ideas sound like you're guessing. If they see you as not that serious, you could be saying something that's very significant and important, and it still won't land, and they still won't see, why it's so vital to hear you out. And that's not something people talk about directly, in friend groups, but I think everybody feels it. And I know I'm not the only one who's picked up on this, because once you start noticing it, I think you see it everywhere. At work, in your daily, day-to-day conversations, even in casual settings, walking throughout the grocery store. You can almost predict how someone is going to be treated before they even begin to open their mouths. And that realization is kind of uncomfortable because it makes you ask a different question. Not, am I capable? But what makes people decide that I am? And I don't even think there's a clean answer to that. I just know it's one of those things you start to see once you've experienced both sides of it. Being overlooked and being taken seriously. And realizing those two experiences don't have anything to do with how capable you actually are. It's just, interesting. And if you've been sitting here this whole time and you've made it this far in the video, you're not just watching. You're a grateful heart, and I love you. I appreciate you for being here. I'll sit with you in the next one. Peace.